Okay, so the first video I showed you how to do this. We took some notes. Okay, and now we're going to go in the back and we're going to do an example together. So here's your first example together.
E.g. what?
Okay, so they'll give you a triangle, right triangle. They'll tell you which angle to find. That little symbol right there where you see this, that means angle. So that's how you know you're solving for an angle. And they'll give you two side lengths. So we got to do our first step. Our first step, that's funny, can you give me the first step? What are you supposed to do first?
Label the shape of the box.
X.
X.
X. X goes first. We're looking for A. A is an angle, so it goes inside, not outside. It's the angle. If they told you B, you'd put it by B. If they told you C, you'd put it by C. So then we label what after the X, David.
Opposite.
Okay, circle this one. Opposite from it. We would write opposite. Just like before. Which one do we do next, Alan, after opposite?
Label hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse across from the box. Okay, the last one. Axel, can you tell me the last one? I did opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. It has to be in that order. I labeled everything just like before. And then I write I have. Remember, you're going to have two things. And then you're going to write I'm looking for an angle. You're looking for an angle this time. The two things you have, you're looking for two numbers. Okay, so little interruption in the hallway, that's great. Alright, the two that you have. So you have a 28 here, which is the opposite. So you put opposite, OPP. Which one else do you have, Nange? You have the opposite, and you have the 40, which is the hypotenuse. Okay, opposite, hypotenuse. Daniela, which one of the three should I use? Sine, cosine, or tangent?
Cosine.
What?
Tan.
So, again, I have opposite, hypotenuse. Which one of the three should I use?
Sine.
Sin.
You see how it has opposite hypotenuse? So I'm going to use inverse sine. So you're gonna, yeah. Because we're looking for an angle. When we have the angle, we use the regular one. So inverse just means you use sine -1. That's what inverse means. When I say inverse, I'm talking about that little -1. It's like undoing the sign. So in here, I would put the opposite, which is 28, and hypotenuse, which is 40. At the end of the video, I'll explain what that one means if you're not sure. Alright, so you're going to put this in the calculator. Alright. So let me give you a chance to go get your calculator. Alright. So you're going to go to a new document. So the first thing we want to check is to make sure our calculator is in degrees. How to check to see if it's in degrees, you go to number 5, which is settings. So one more time. You're going to go to number 5, settings. Number 5, settings. Then that's going to give you a new menu. You're going to be choosing document settings. So again, you're going to choose document settings. This is number 2. When you get that, it's going to give you a couple of displays. So you're going to go to where it says angle. And right now, mine is on degrees because I've already changed it. So you're going to use this right here to move. And when you get to degrees, you're going to be able to click on it. Alright? And that's how you can switch back and forth. So in this class, we're not going to really talk about radians or gradient. We're going to use degrees most of the time. So click degrees.
It doesn't have any.
Then you're going to press OK. Let me see your calculator, Asmani.
Aku na pati ito muna.
Okay? Alright, so then now you can go to new document. Do we want to save? No, thank you. And we're going to get add calculator. Just like we've done before, add calculator. Now, we're going to type in inverse sine 28 divided by 40. So, press trig. Trig is a button next to number 7.
And go C minus 1.
Alright.
And go down.
Inverse sine. You might have seen that last time and wondered what it
What does
was.
that mean, minus 1?
The negative 1 as the exponent means inverse. I'll show you at the end where we get it from.
What is the difference?
So again,
What is the difference from sine normal and sine minus 1?
sine of this is sine of the angle. Sine inverse is to get the angle. I'll show you an example in just a minute. So in here you would put 28 divided by 40. So 28 divide
Or just click control
by 40, or press Control divide. Okay, that should be your angle. If you get something that's really, really small, then that means that you might have done it wrong. So, and I just got this on his calculator.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Alright, that means that he put 82 over 40. Our answer was actually 28
Whoa.
over 40.
Yep. Our answer.
So, if you don't have that, that means that your calculator is not in degrees. So again, you have to go to Settings, Document Settings, and then click on Degrees. That means it's not on degrees if you're not getting the answer I got. So, I had a couple people ask me where'd I get, there's this, no, you picked sine again, inverse sine, hold on. Alright, so where'd I get this from? Essentially what you're doing is this. You're doing sine of an angle that you don't know. That equals to 28 over 40. To undo, like how we have like multiplication, we have
If it
division.
doesn't work, this
To
one.
undo sine, you do inverse sine. You take the inverse sine of this. That's where we get that from. This is gonna cross out, cancel. It's like sine over sine. You're gonna get an angle equals to inverse sine 28 over 40. That's where that comes from. Okay? That's where that comes from. Negative 1 means you're essentially, that's what goes in the denominator spot. So you're able to cancel it out. Alright, so that was one of the examples. Thanks for watching.